Hello, everyone. Welcome to May 29th, KPOZ, KPOZ, where we talk only about the good stuff. The whole goal is to learn something, to be inspired, and to take away a thought-provoking and valuable tip for the day. What are we going to learn today? You might have already known this. I might have known it and forgot it, but I relearned it, and I think it's worth mentioning. Sometimes your credit card, whoever you have your credit card with, whether it's through your bank or whether it's through Capital One or everybody has a credit card these days, right? But they have extended benefits. So figure out what your credit card extended benefits might be. Maybe they pay for insurance for your rental car. Others have refund protection. So if you take a product back to a store and the store won't refund it for you, then they will. Some have extended warranties past the manufacturer's extended warranties, oftentimes on technology. So look into it. There are some cards that you get access to the private lounges in airports, and you don't have to pay a membership for it. So make that part of your inquiry of things that might benefit you. Go find out if your credit card that you use has any kind of extended benefits that you aren't currently taking advantage of. And if they do, jump on board, start to take advantage of it. What's my inspiring story today? Today's story is about a young man whose name is Clint Pulver. And when Clint was about 10 years old, he talks about being in the classroom in school. And he would find himself unintentionally, and really without even realizing he was doing it, he would start to tap on his desk or his notebook. And as you can imagine, that was a little disruptive to the other students and the teacher. And he remembers one day being in a class with the teacher, and he started his tapping. He was not doing it on purpose or to be distractive or a problem in the classroom, but the teacher said to him, Clint, you need to go to the principal's office. So he goes and he sits at the principal's office, and the principal talked to him about it a little bit, and he said to him, Clint, the next time you have the urge to start this tapping, why don't you try sitting on your hands? All right, so Clint goes back to the classroom, and this urge to tap uncontrollably comes to him, and he remembers what the principal said, so he sits on his hands, and that worked for about 5 seconds, and then he was back at it, tapping, tapping, tapping. Then he recalls one day he was in the class with his teacher, his favorite teacher, Mr. Jensen, and the tapping starts. And so Mr. Jensen says, Clint, when class is over today, I need you to stay behind because I need to talk to you. Okay. So when the class was finished, all the other little kids left, and Clint went up to sit next to Mr. Jensen at his desk. And Mr. Jensen said, Clint, I don't think this tapping is as much of a problem as you might think it is, and that other people are making it out to be. He said, I think it might actually be a gift. Have you ever thought about being a drummer? And Mr. Jensen pulls out these drumsticks from his desk and he hands them to Clint. And guess what? Clint went on to be a really well-known drummer. He's played in some amazing venues throughout the world, and he's also become an actor, and he's gone on to become a motivational speaker and a consultant to companies to help them understand the best way to communicate and build a culture with millennials. So the other thing that he said that Mr. Jensen taught him was, Clint, you don't have to be the best in the world. You have to be the best for the world. And that leads me to what I want to leave us with today. Think about this week. On Monday, we took time out, hopefully, to reflect on the millions of men and women who sacrificed their lives so that we could live in this country with the freedoms that we have. And then we also found out that 100,000 lives have been lost to the COVID virus so far in this country. And imagine there's 100,000 families out there. There's probably more than 100,000 friends and other people, work associates, and other people who knew these folks who have succumbed to this disease that are in a period of grief. And then we hear about this Black man named George Floyd, who was killed at the hands of police officers who acted inappropriately by kneeling on his neck. And then right behind that, because of that event, we have the riots that are going on in Minneapolis right now that I don't understand. I don't understand that it does a damn bit of good to build down building or burn down buildings and police stations and to break windows and be destructive. How is that going to help this situation? But one thing I do know, if we would all live in the question of what Mr. Jensen taught Clint, of how can I be the best for the world? What behaviors that I can display and have be the best for the world? What thoughts that I am willing to have, and what conversations am I willing to have, and what things am I willing to write down, and how am I going to show up in the world so I'm the best for the world? If we all started asking ourselves that question, and if we all did whatever we thought that was, this stuff would stop. So it's like throwing pebbles in the Grand Canyon. It takes a while, but eventually a little pile starts to form. So that's what I'm asking all of us to do. Reflect on how you, as an individual, can be the best for the world. What are you willing to do in order to make that happen? And have conversations about this and ask people the question, because it's high time we change our behavior and we change the way things are going in this country. So that's what I want to leave you with today. How are you going to be the best for the world? All right, think about that, reflect on it, have some conversations about it, and I will see you again on Monday. So that's it from K-Pause, where we talk only about the good stuff. You guys have a kick-ass weekend and take really good care of yourselves. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.